I don't usually do this on the channel, but I'm going to give you a preview of some upcoming videos. We're going to work on this Kawasaki KRH 300A, Lesco LHB 2500. Got a Husqvarna 225. This one happens to have the sidewalk edger attachment. We got a Husky 40 chainsaw and a Steel MS-170 chainsaw. So those are going to be some of the upcoming. I don't usually work a lot on 2 cycles on the channel. I did just buy some new tools to help me get through them. Well, let's start with the Lesco LHB 2500. Now this, I believe, is rebranded something else. It's made by some Japanese. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but I believe that's Japan. I don't know my geography that well to tell you for sure. Yeah, LHB 2500. Yeah, made in Japan. Okay, I was hoping that was Japan. Let's see what we have. We have some, well, you can't see that. We have some very blue fuel. Looks like it's well mixed with some sort of 2-stroke oil. I don't know that brand that's blue, but doesn't really matter. Let's get this air cleaner off just to make sure there is one before we try to start running it and create a ruckus in a bunch of dust. Torques of all strange things. I was going for a metric hex right away. Boy, some of these have the cruddiest. Okay, it's like a foam. Not the best for a blower. These things are known for kicking up dust pretty bad. All right, let's get this one on the ground and see if we can get her started. Choke is up. On-off switch, literally a switch. On. Yeah, that's why it's here. First thing I'm going to check is the muffler screen. Now you can kind of look in there and just see it, but being that I already have the bit, sometimes if you run them too rich, which this owner has a tendency of doing, run it too rich on the fuel oil mix. Sometimes you can get a symptom like this where it'll run at idle. I don't know if you saw when I let off the throttle, it actually came back to life a little bit. If it can't breathe, if the exhaust is plugged up. Let's just go for the low-hanging fruit first. It's probably just as easy. I'll take the spark plug out. I want to look at that anyway. It's the small socket. It's not the small socket. It must need a thin wall because this fat thing ain't fitting in there. Needs a scrunch, but I don't have one right with me here. Any 2-cycle mechanic would, but I rarely work on them, as I said in the intro. Just grabbed a different one. This one happens to have a little thinner wall, and it just makes it. It's pretty tight in there. Yeah, it's already out. Plug looks okay. Looks like it's been running okay. There's a little glazing on that side there. But anyway, what we're after right now is getting this cover out. Looks like you gotta get the spark wire down below. Have I got all the screws? Why does it seem like something's still holding? There it goes. Guess I've got to come up. There we go. Then I'll take these off and we'll look at that muffler screen, make sure that's clear. And that's probably a little warm. Just ran a little bit for us, but and we don't have to worry about that muffler screen because it looks like it has a hole right through it. Let me see if that's hot. Not really. I think somebody already had it clogged years ago and punched a hole right through it. Now we can see our piston in there. Let me get you zoomed in and we can maybe take a look together. Let me get this thing lined up with something I could see. Every time I do that, the tube hits the camera. Can you see? You can kind of see like that. Yeah. Yeah, that piston's got some scoring on it for sure. Try to get you in there. Yeah, it's definitely got some scoring. It looks worse on camera than it does in real life, I'm noticing right now. Focus. It won't. But yeah, we got some scoring in there. It's not new. But what I was really after is the screen clogged? And the answer is no, because someone else already apparently thought of that by poking it with a screwdriver. Let's get that muffler back on. We ruled a clogged screen out. And while I was playing with all that, this thing tipped out, and that's got the throttle on it. So to make it easy to reconnect, and because I want to go for the carburetor next, take this off. Is the carburetor tight? Yes. Does the choke work? Yes. Okay. If yours came off as mine did, it just pivots on this boss here, and on the end of that shaft there's a lever. It's on the bottom side of the lever. Works fine. Wire goes in this little gap right here. Let's see if we can get everything to line back up. It didn't really come off clean like you'd want them to. Let's see, it's going to go like that. Can I drop it down behind? There must be just the right angle that you could assemble this. And I don't know what that angle is. Those cracks were just things moving, not breaking. Close. Still something not liking it. Oh, now I've got a rubber grommet in here doing something. Didn't see that till just now. Let's assume by the size it goes on something like that. Or is that for the spark plug? Was that there? I don't think it was. Maybe? It's the only thing I could think it could have come off. I don't know that that's the case, but that's where mine's going to go. And I've disconnected my throttle while I was doing all that. Yeah, I'm binding on something back here. It's not quite in right. As soon as I put the case there, I'll figure mine out. I'll bring you back. Okay, on mine, I had to get in here with the screwdriver, and I had to go here and push. Something just wasn't quite clipping in, and it was hitting on that throttle. We're okay now. Get these screws. I'm going to put all the screws in, bring it back. In case you're watching this as a how-to instead of just entertainment, watch as you like, but these are 2 bolts which have flat ends on them and fine threads, and these other ones are more of a coarse screw. You should have 2 of these, and that's to go into the metal of the engine. So they are 2 different than others. And then all the rest are the plastic ones. Now I just cleaned up the spark plug a little bit. I'm not going to replace it because it's good enough. It was firing. But I did increase the gap just a hair. I don't know that it needed that, but that's what I did. Let's see if we can get this to go back down in. There it goes. Oh yeah, sure. How are we going to get that back out now that it's locked on? There it goes. Yeah, I don't know if this was in there or not. If they would do that to keep the dust out of there. Yeah, where else could it have gone? Okay, I'm going to attempt. They have the limiter cap still on this one. On this one, they don't. I'm going to attempt to make some changes there. Just FYI, it will run different, not maybe, if you have this on versus this off. So if you're doing any tuning, you know, a lot of times it seems like, oh, let's just make easy access. This one, they're actually readily accessible. Some aren't. And you may be tempted to tune it, and then as you go to put your cover back on, it will give you a slightly different mix and run completely different. These 2 strokes, especially these tiny ones like this, even like a backpack blower, you'd have a better chance at it not clogging a carburetor passage or something. These ones, the fluid passages and everything is so tight and very unforgiving, and it will run different with a little restriction versus not. I'm going to start by seeing if I could get the limiter cap to come off here in a reasonable way. you're not going to really make wild adjustments, but this one isn't cooperating. There it goes. It's very tiny. I don't even know if this one's going to fit in there. Not really. I'm going to need a smaller standard screwdriver to get in there. I'm going to try to work on this right where it sits. It's kind of high for me to pull it right here, but let's do it anyway. You can see by the smoke, I don't know if it shows up well on camera, but yeah, he has got plenty of mix in there. It was absolutely starving for fuel at high speed. I'm going to go a little too much and you'll hear the two-stroking start. We don't want it quite there, and we don't want it quite running as fast as possible either. As it heats up, it'll allow you to give it more fuel. So if you want it to run good right from the start, you have to find a good happy medium there between too much fuel, where it's two-stroking when cold. It's probably better to give it a little too much because you don't want to run these things lean or else they'll run way too hot. But it idles beautifully. I'll mess with that a little bit just to see. Not much sensitivity there. Let's just adjust the high speed. That's what really counts once you got it started. Gives us a little bog there. A little bog. So it might be too much fuel. Let's try a little less fuel. Nope. Might be too little fuel. Try less idle. Go back to where it was. More idle. Okay, so we were underfeeding fuel at idle. That's why we were getting the bog. Now we mess with the high speed adjustment because they work together. That idle for a few seconds, so it's only feeding off the idle mix. That's an acceptable amount of bog. Okay, so this one was just starving for gas. Terrible. The high speed needed to be opened up, and we did that. I'm not going to worry about the idle speed itself. Typically, if you're using a little leaf blower like this, they're full throttle all the time. I mean, they don't put out a tremendous amount of flow, so you'll often just run them full speed while operating. So I don't worry about the idle speed too much, because what are you going to do? Leave it there for 20 minutes warming up? So that should be fine. Let's just try a hot restart, see what we get. No throttle. Good. If it didn't hot restart good, you may have added too much fuel, because as you're shutting it down, it's going to add a little fuel with no spark, and it may be flooded upon a restart. This one's fine. Especially when they're hot, they usually boil it off anyway, but I just wanted to make sure. So we got today a Lesco LHB 2500, 69 decibels. That's now Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching.